Monster Week 2026 is here and the theme is Fey. An incredible group of TTRPG personalities and dungeon tubers recorded videos for this amazing event. And I hope you can watch them all. You'll find a link to Monster Week's channel in the description below. Hello everyone, my name is Arthur.
And I'm Skippy.
Yes, that's Skippy the Kobold. My brother and I are the two people behind Elven Tower Adventures. I am an isometric map maker, an adventure writer, editor, social media manager, virtual tabletop module creator, and now an aspiring dungeon tuber. I hope you enjoy this video and all the effort I put into it. Can you survive 24 hours in the Feywild is the topic that I chose for Monster Week 2026. I will answer this question as thoroughly as possible and try to give you context to answer the question appropriately. Let's start with a definition. The Feywild is also known as the plane of fairy. It is an echo of the material plane. It is a mirrored version of it. However, it is filled with unraveled magic, unrestrained emotions, and chaos. The Feywild is the place where the Fey originated, and this is from where the first elves arrived in Faerun. Etymologically, the word Faerun comes from the word fairy, the name of the homeland of ancient elves. Eladrin, elves, Fomorian, and Goblinoids are some of the races that are native to the Feywild.
And what about kobolds?
Sorry, Skippy, no kobolds in the Feywild.
What about now?
No, Skippy, your cute garland does not make you Fey. Let's carry on. The Feywild is an echo of the material plane, but with interesting differences. There, the grand cities and big populations could be unimportant or easily missed. In contrast, natural landmarks like rock formations or forests could be majestic and marvelous. Basically, the Feywild enhances all that is natural and beautiful in the material plane, and it diminishes the importance of civilization and progress. In simpler words, the Feywild is always going to prioritize a forest over a city. Another important aspect of the Feywild is that distances may vary. A journey from point A to B may differ from the journey back from B to A. This may sound cool and like a nice characteristic, but we should take into account that retracing your steps and tracking are both very important to not get lost, and they are crucial skills to navigate an unknown, uncharted land. This may confuse newcomers and outsiders and cause them to get lost more often. One of the most dangerous aspects of the Feywild is that time does not flow in the same manner as in the material plane. Visitors may experience time flowing as normal in the Feywild, but a minute spent in that plane could mean an hour in the material plane. In the same manner, a month spent in the Feywild could represent one or several years in its counterpart, the material plane. But the worst is that there are no rules. Regardless of the time spent in the Feywild, it is also possible for no time to have passed in the material plane. So planning ahead is useless or meaningless because there is no way to know. Thus, upon returning to the material plane, time could catch up with the travelers, making them age on the spot and in the worst cases, killing them. Additionally, memories of the time spent in the Feywild may become hazy or vanish altogether for those with no Fey ancestry. In conclusion, time is a mess, and there is no rule to measure it, to calculate how long one should stay, or to predict the consequences of the time spent in the Feywild when one goes back to the material plane. Lastly, it is also important to mention that arcane energy runs more freely. The word Feywild has wild in it, and it is no coincidence. It is known that chaos is the main fuel of wild magic. And within the Feywild, spells and magic can have unexpected effects, or their power can be amplified when cast. And this is a double-edged sword because many creatures in the Feywild are spellcasters or have magical abilities.
This is great. I'm taking notes for my next visit.
Good call, Skippy. Let's see what you've got. Elves as we know them, and Eladrin, also known as seasonal elves, Fey elves, or high elves, will not necessarily be friendly or even neutral. In fact, the history of the Feywild tells us that elves have been continuously fighting for territory, for power, or to protect themselves from the endemic dangers of this place. Some more neutral creatures that inhabit the Feywild are dryads, satyrs, treants, or fairy dragons. But again, there are no guarantees. These creatures of the Feywild have no reason to trust outsiders, even less to help them or assist them in any manner. Additionally, the Feywild is the home of displacer beasts and owlbears. And we also have the Fey versions of beasts like Fey wolves, Fey bears, Fey boars, Fey panthers, and whatnot. And all of these will most likely attack on the spot. We can also talk about leprechauns, which are masters of deceit and they lie for fun. And then we have hags, witches, and they are innately evil and powerful. In fact, any Fey witch will be delighted, in an evil way, to see outsiders or visitors lost and asking for directions. The Feywild is also the home for most goblinoids, ogres, giants, and blights. And like hags, they will enjoy ambushing and attacking a party of unaware outsiders. And last but not least, we have the Archfey. These are Fey creatures with godlike powers. They are the leaders of entire regions, armies, the governors of cities, or the masters of a realm. A great and popular example of these Archfeys is Baba Yaga, the mother of all witches. No one wants to run into her. You may need to go to the Feywild, or you may end up in that plane by mistake. Adventurers may enter the Feywild through a Fey crossroad. To do this, one must have special knowledge on how to travel between planes. Fey crossroads must be activated. A ritual to open a magical door, the command word or a key to activate a portal, or come up with the necessary payment for a more powerful creature to open one of these passageways. And remember, Fey crossroads are two-way portals. This is important, because there is another, more dangerous way to cross into the Feywild, a Fey crossing. This is a phenomenon where two planes are intertwined or cosmically overlapped. And Fey crossings can be very small or very large. A lake, a glade, a circle of mushrooms, a tree trunk, or stuff like that. However, any of these doors to the Feywild suck. They are dangerous, because a party of heroes could be traversing a forest thinking about the next town they will visit, and suddenly go through a Fey crossing without any of them realizing this. No warning, and this is a one-way trip. So to return, a traveler would have to survive in the Feywild until they find another Fey crossing or a Fey crossroad.
So can we survive there or not?
Context, Skippy. Context is important. Whew, but he's right. Sorry for the long intro. But we needed some background lore and facts about the Feywild to answer this question correctly. So the question, can you survive 24 hours in the Feywild? The quick answer is no. No, seriously, I could not survive in the Feywild. But what about D&D adventurers? Well, they would have to be strong enough to do so, but still, a high-level party may have a very hard time if they are not careful, if they antagonize the wrong person, if they mess with the draw, or if they overstay their welcome. To state the obvious, any regular human would perish in the Feywild after a few hours, perhaps minutes. The Feywild is not joy and happiness. It is a weird, dangerous, and unpredictable place. And you may say, but my party of heroes would quickly travel to a city or town or make friends there. That's fair, so let's talk about the realms and places that you can visit in the Feywild. But let's keep in mind that this plane is a figurative synonym to chaos, unpredictability, and danger. And it is the home plane of many not so nice creatures that we already mentioned before. One of the realms in the Feywild is Brokenstone Vale. This is the Feywild kingdom of lycanthropes. They fought the Eladrin to earn their freedom. However, they stayed in the Feywild because this is a better option than going into the material plane. So, no thank you, I don't want to be there. Then we have Ilian Bruin. The realm of the Ilefarn was rebuilt in the Feywild after its near complete destruction in the material plane. They have fought for centuries because they are considered and seen as invaders, and they are elves. So this is no 5-star hotel, folks. So if you do not get into trouble with the elves that live here, if you somehow become their friend, you will be seen as an invader as well. Then we have Nachtö. This is one of the most powerful goblin kingdoms. Great Gawk is the leader of this faction and he's the lord of all goblins. He commands hordes of goblins and hosts of mercenaries that include hags. So no friends there. Astrazilian is the name of the Eladrin realm. Maybe reaching this place could work for survival, but like I said before, there are no guarantees that the Eladrin are going to welcome you with open arms. The Feywild also has smaller towns or settlements. One of them is Sendrian. This is an ancient city taken by Lord Canoth, a vampire. So this would be like reliving Curse of Strahd, but in the Feywild, so no thank you. Evermeet is the center of Elven culture. This is probably the best option of them all. Travelers will not have a royal reception at all, but this may be a nice place to stay, at least. And with the right choices, they may even make some friends. However, to reach this place, you will have to overcome the dangers of traveling through the Feywild first. And then we have Mithrandain. This is also called the Autumn City of the Feywild. This place is built atop a dangerous passageway that leads to the Feydark. We could make an entire video about the Feydark, but let's just say that the Feydark is the echo, the mirrored version of the Underdark. And the Underdark sucks, so the Feydark is even worse. It is more dangerous, chaotic, and it is filled with Fomorians. So you're in the Feywild, let's say that your plan is to get to a city or town as fast as you can. There are so many things that could go wrong while traveling through the Feywild. Stumbling upon any of the creatures mentioned before is most likely going to end up with weapons being drawn 99% of the time. And this includes the encounters with Eladrin and elves. Any non-elven creature is going to attack first and ask questions later, provided they even speak a language to begin with. And the possibilities of going in circles or getting lost are incredibly high.
So, can we survive there?
Are you even paying attention?
Yes? Okay, no.
Final thoughts. Don't get me wrong, the Feywild is an amazing, incredible place to develop a D&D campaign. It has an amazing history, background lore, and a great variety of endemic creatures and local people. But in my humble opinion, traveling to the Feywild should be on the same line as traveling to the Abyss or the Nine Hells. The Feywild is no joke, and this is not a place that you want to visit on your own accord, ever. But what do you think? Could your party of heroes survive 24 hours in the Feywild? Let me know in the comments. Special thanks to Genie D and Pointy Hat for putting Monster Week together. Click the link in the description and don't forget to watch theirs and the rest of the participants' videos as well. My name is Arthur, and if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one!